ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączę się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączę się z narodem. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby open the Jubilee inauguration of the academic year 2023-2024 at the Kozminski University. Please take your seats.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin today's ceremony with welcoming our distinguished guests who devote their time to be here with us today. But at the beginning, let me ask you, let me change and welcome Professor Andrzej Kozminski, the honorary president of our university, who will be giving the inauguration lecture today. Good morning, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, among our guests, there are the following: Minister Grażyna Ignaczak-Bandych, head of the Chancellery of the President of the Republic of Poland, Ms. Renata Kaznowska, Deputy Mayor of the capital city of Warsaw, Mr. Jacek Chlebny, the President of the Supreme Administrative Court, Professor Jerzy Woźnicki, the Chairman of the Foundation of the Rectors of Poland, Professor Eric Cornuel, President of EFMD, Dr. honoris causa of the Kozminski University, future Dr. honoris causa, because the ceremony will take place today at 5 p.m. and I invite you to the ceremony. His Excellency Bishop Jacek Kozminski, the ancillary bishop of the Warsaw-Praga Diocese. Let me also welcome colleagues, rectors of Warsaw universities. First, Professor Zbigniew Paweł Kruszewski, the rector of the High School of Paweł Włodkowic in Warsaw. Professor Leona Lauza, Dean and Executive Director, ESAB Business School, member of International Corporate Advisory Board of Kozminski University, Professor Stanisław Mocek, the Rector of Collegium Civitas, Professor Alojzy Nowak, Rector of Warsaw University, Professor Maciej Rogalski, Rector of Łazarski University, Professor Piotr Wachowiak, President of the Conference of Rectors of Warsaw Universities and the Rector of Warsaw School of Economics, Professor Michał Zasada, Deputy President of CRASP and the Rector of the Warsaw University of Life Sciences. The inauguration is a great event that is also connected or entails a great managerial challenge. We've got a lot of guests invited to our inauguration. And also, having respect for your time, I will request you to give applause en masse. So let me now just list individual groups, and I will let you know where the applause is due. I hope you will agree to follow this instruction because we would really like to be able to close the ceremony within 2 hours. So let me welcome Reverend Robert Bandura, the Rector for Science of the Academy of Catholic Theology in Warsaw, Rector of Warsaw Academy of Theatre, Professor Agnieszka Cundra-Jędrzejewska, Pro-Rector for Personal Affairs of the Warsaw Medical University, Professor Ewa Gruszczyńska, Pro-Rector for Didactic Affairs of the SWPS University, Professor Aleksander Kościów, Pro-Rector for Students Affairs and Didactic Affairs of the Fryderyk Chopin Music University. First round of applause, please. Colonel Dr. Engineer Dariusz Majkrzak, Pro-Rector for Military Affairs of the Academy, War Academy in Poland, Bogusław Milewski, Pro-Rector for Finance and Development of the Christian Theological Academy, Professor Jarosław Rola, Pro-Rector for Science of the Maria Grzegorzewska Special Pedagogy Academy, Reverend Professor Rybarski, the Pro-Rector of the Seminar of the Warsaw Praga Diocese. Welcome, Reverend Professor Marek Stokłosa, Pro-Rector for Science and International Cooperation of the Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University, Professor Łukasz Szarpniak, Pro-Rector for Scientific Affairs of the Maria Skłodowska-Curie Medical University, Colonel Professor Jacek Świderski, Pro-Rector for Development of the Military Technical University, Professor Renata Walczak, Pro-Rector of the Polish branch of Warsaw Technological University, Professor Robert Wolny, Director for Development of the Economic University in Katowice, and Professor Jolanta Zyśko, Pro-Rector for Promotion and Development of the Physical Education Academy in Warsaw. We also have with us here deans, Professor Grzegorz Karasiewicz, Faculty of Management, and Professor Zatwarnicka-Madura, Dean of Management Faculty at the Rzeszów Technical University. His Excellency Ambassador of Switzerland to Poland, Fabrice Villiers. Ms. Joanna Naik, Afilia, First Secretary of the Embassy of Indonesia in Poland. And now I would also like you to sort of wait for my signal. Welcome, representatives of our strategic partners. We will mention them a lot today. Panatoni Europe, welcome to Mr. Robert Dogrzyski, CEO and co-owner of the company. Anina Pietrkowska, Marketing and Communications Director. Malwina Pawłowska, Marketing Business Strategy Director. Our second strategic partner is Millennium Bank. Georges Brasset, the CEO and member of the International Corporate Advisory Board. Andrzej Gliński, member of the Management Board. Iwona Jarzębska, the president of the foundation of the Millennium Bank. Our third strategic partner is Ergo Hestia, so let me welcome Ms. Dagmara Sydna, Deputy HR Director. And the fourth partner, Ernst & Young, welcome Dorota Kubiak, HR Director, Piotr Lenarczyk, Assistant Director, Ms. Gabriela Golińska, Employer Branding Coordinator, and Iga Falasa, Employer Branding Specialist. Great round of applause for representatives of our strategic partners. Let me also introduce our supporting partners, Ceres Consulnet, and Ceres Consulnet is represented by Mr. Robert Podgórski, Deputy President of the Management Board, Andrzej Chodacz, President of the Management Board of Ceres Consulting Cleaning, and Marta Starzewska, Director of Marketing of Ceres Consulting Security. Profit Development is also other partners, so let me welcome Ms. Agnieszka Pachulska, the Director of the Warsaw Branch, and Ms. Patricia Ogrodnik, PR Manager.
Są również z nami darczyńcy indywidualni.
Our individual donors are also with us, Mr. Piotr Kumięga and Mr. Bartłomiej Skrzydlewski. Welcome. Please welcome them with a round of applause. I'm sorry to give you those instructions, but it's really important for me to make sure that this event is dynamic, but I would also like to welcome everyone by name. Let me welcome representatives of science and academia. First, Professor Wojciech Czakon, honoris causa doctor of the academic economy in Wrocław and representing also Jagiellonian University in Kraków. Reverend Professor Stanisław Dziekoński, former rector of Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University, Małgorzata Foset-Czyżewska, director for communications and promotion of NAWA, Professor Waldemar Gajda, president of the Warsaw School of Management, Helka Carvalho Hernandez, deputy president of EFMD, Professor Marek Krawczyk, former rector of the Warsaw Medical University. Yes, this is the moment for applause. Yes, this is right. Welcome Professor Ramon Callaghan, Chairman of International Advisory Board and former Dean of Porto Business School, member of our International Corporate Advisory Board. Professor Maria Romanowska, Professor of Chapter of Management at the Warsaw School of Economics. Professor Andrzej Rychard, Director of the Institute of Philosophy and Sociology of Polish Academy of Sciences. Professor Jan Schmid, Honorary President of KRASP, former Rector of the Warsaw Technical University. And Professor Małgorzata Zalewska, Deputy President of the Council of Curators of the First Polish Academy of Sciences. Professor Aleksandra Drozd, the rector of the Wawr Real School, Mr. Maciej Jurusiecki, director of the 5th Secondary School in Warsaw, Beata Nary, teacher of civics at the non-public school Academy of Future in Legionowo. Representatives of local authorities, Mr. Jacek Jerzewski, the mayor of the borough of Praga, and Dorota Łoboda, the chairing the Education Commission in the City Council of Warsaw. Let me also welcome representatives of the institutions cooperating with Kozminski University, Ms. Aida Bella, Director for Communications, Corporate Communications of Totalizator Sportowy, Jakub Brodowicz, Director for Marketing of Jaguar Land Rover Baltics, Dorota Borawska, Manager for Business Client of the Poltext Publishing House, Mai-Fen Chen, Director of Education and Department of the Taipei Representative Office, Mr. Leszek Cichowski, the CEO of Cheerleading Sports Association, Mr. Rafał Cieszka, the Deputy President of TDJ Company, Professor Marcin Kludewski, the CEO of Gas System, Professor Zbigniew Dworzycki, Deputy President of the National Economic Chamber, Dariusz Frankowski, Director of the Mazowsze Unit for Implementing EU Programs, General Professor M.D. Grzegorz Gierelak, Director of the Warsaw Military Medical Institute in Warsaw, representatives of the Institute of Finance, Izabela Gołaszewska-Mazek, Deputy Director, and Ms. Sylwia Stryjewska, Manager of the Publishing Department. Tomasz Górnicki, member of the Executive Education Advisory Board. Tomasz, I've seen you somewhere. Andrzej Jacaszek, the Managing Director of ICANN Institute. Paweł Jaczewski, Manager for Business Clients of MT Business. Dr. Joanna Jancz, Manager for Promotion Team at NAWA. Maciej Jarosiński, Treasurer of the World Union of Home Army Soldiers.
Witam serdecznie panią Ewę
Eva Janus-Kuri, Managing Director of the Creative Center Targowa, Iwona Kasprzak, Director for Public Relations of the International Poznań Fair, Monika Krasińska, Director of the Department of Jurisprudence and Legislation of the Data Protection Institute.
Witam serdecznie pana
Tomasz Kulik, member of the management board of PZU.
Witam serdecznie pana
Artur Kurasiński, entrepreneur, co-author of books on startups. Jakub Kubacki, director of legal department, member of the management board of X-Trade brokerage house. Sławomir Kubiczek, CEO of Frizo. Advocate Dorota Kulińska, director of the Institute of Legislation and Parliamentary Work at the Bar of Warsaw. Mr. Leśniewski, director of Santander Universitadis in Poland.
Jest z nami wielki przyjaciel.
Also have with us a very great friend of our university, Bogusław Mamiński, president of Biegnij Warszawa, Warsaw Run, Elżbieta and Janusz Marszalec, owners of JMS Software and Digital Media, Natalia Osica, managing director of ProScience, Mr. Maciej Owczarek, CEO of Business Center Club, Piotr Słowiński, member of the Trust Council of Kozminski University, representatives of the Polish Development Fund, Bartłomiej Pawlak, Deputy Chair, Hubert Kosiński, Director of the Department of Liabilities Management, and Mr. Marcin Borek, the Director of the Local Government Investment Department. Maciej Petrykowski, CEO of Attende.
Witam serdecznie.
May I also welcome Mr. Mariusz Piekota, AZS, Head of Supervisory Board, Mr. Pietraszkiewicz, Union of Polish Banks, Mr. Henryk Pisiński, member of the Board of Trustees and a former administrative director of the Kozminski University, Tomasz Rogacz, Director General of McDonald's Poland, Mr. Waldemar Rogunski, member of the Management Board of Koptek Bio, Dr. Tomasz Sienka, President of Cloud Team, Mr. Waldemar Siwiński, founder of the Education Foundation Perspectives and IREC Observatory of Academic Ranking and Excellence. President, welcome. May I also welcome Reverend Prelate Leszek Ślipka, parish priest and a member of the Board of Trustees of our university. May I welcome a representative of Ermut, Mr. Stasieczek, and Mr. Michał Ruczkowski, contract manager. Let's have applause at this moment. That's penultimate occasion. And Mrs. Anna Szudzik-Maciąg, Director General and Vice President of Pol's Corner. Hello, I'm Mr. Andrzej Szumowski, President of the Management Board of Wyborowa, Mr. Rafał Śmierzyński, CEO of Perfect Displays, and Mrs. Agnieszka Świercz, CEO of DHL Parcels Poland. Good morning. Magdalena Vano, Director of Marketing Communications at EFMD. Mr. Maciej Widucki, President of the Leviathan Confederation, Head of the International Corporate Advisory Board at Kozminski University, and Mr. Wościński, Director for Central Europe at Hitachi, and Mr. Wood from the magazine editor, and Marta Wrubel, owner of Strategic Philanthropy. And I would like to also ask you for the penultimate round of applause. Apologies. And now the last round, and the biggest applause goes to the students of the first year and the entire community of the Kozminski University. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the past academic year, we regretfully had to part with members of our academic community, and I would like to say goodbye to Professor Włodzimierz Siwiński, a long-standing employee and champion, Professor Lech Zacher, an outstanding sociologist and futurologist, who was looking into the relationship between science, technology, and society. Dr. Bożena Józefowicz, PhD, associated with Kozminski University since its inception. Mrs. Janina Horomańska and Mrs. Krystyna Dobrzyńska, long-standing employees with the accounting department. We have also parted with Professor Edward Prescott, one of the most eminent contemporary economists, winner of the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2004, long-standing member of the International Corporate Advisory Board and an honorary doctor of our university. It is with sadness that we have parted with Mr. Emilian Kamiński, a great artist and creator of the Kamienica Theatre, a great friend of our university. I would like you to rise and observe a moment of silence in their memory. Thank you very much. Now, my work continues, apparently. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a short and concise rector's speech that looks back at the past year and 30 years. Distinguished guests, friends, and ladies and gentlemen, dear students, the beginning of an academic year is the biggest festivity for our community, but it's an opportunity for a deeper reflection, going back into what a business school like ours was and is at the moment, how the education profile has changed, and what type of graduates we want to release into the world so that their skills and attitudes are well tailored to the future challenges. Business schools that emerged about 150 years ago were first training professional merchants and managers of factories after the Second World War. They were supposed to requalify soldiers and officers returning from the front into directors of industries at in the flourishing economies. Later on, they geared themselves towards providing training to financiers and managers who manage modern organizations for profit and for assets. The universal knowledge that is tested in all parts of the world can be effective at the time of welfare and crisis, because business operates everywhere on the business as usual basis. Schools of business and management as a discipline have been radically seen as a highly emotional area, because it was on the one hand criticized for not being scientific enough, but also it has effectively created managers that created jobs, wealth, and prosperity. It could be argued that no capitalism would exist in the contemporary world without business schools. The 21st century poses new challenges. The graduates are now expected to be business savvy, but also sensitive to the needs of humanity and the planet. In the traditional paradigm of management geared towards maximizing profits, social sensitivity of corporations were mainly limited to beautiful declarations, with business as usual being the name of the game, where children were employed at work, where resources were exploited, and trade flourished with totalitarian regimes, with beautiful communication, wrapping it all, sometimes referred to as greenwashing. The new ESG trend is taking the challenge of opposing that trend with sensitive and caring management being the new concept. We want to equip people with tools to work effectively and ethically. The beautiful ideas are still meeting resistance. People are thrifty. People want profit. People are sensitive to fake news, and even eminent researchers tell blatant lies, and false pictures are being multiplied, bringing the moods down and changing opinions. Social engineering is at its happiest today, and the truth is a commodity. You have to pay extra for this new reality. Requires that we return to the good old principles that underlie the life of academia centuries ago. Academia is where critical thinking should be cherished, where scientific discipline is observed and courage is promoted in promoting unpopular ideas and theses. This is where we push the boundaries of cognition, and where students exhibit ambitions to change the world into a better place, as it desperately needs that change. We all need to embrace tolerance to adversity and immunity to fads and resistance to leniently hide our own idling temptations. We have to observe the pillars of education according to Eric Cornuer's concept. Lifelong learning is number one. Digitization of knowledge and online education so that education is more accessible. Blended learning. Thirdly, blended learning, hybrid learning with interactive components to improve the effectiveness of growth. Fourthly, the replacement of teacher-student relationship with a partnership where the academic is a mentor and a supervisor. Crowdsourcing, networking with academic centers, giving access to a worldwide pool of knowledge. Positive impact on your environment. Seventh, ensure that scientific research has an impact on decision makers. Professor is with us to accept the honoris causa title, and EFMD is a partner for us, guiding us in the path of providing education to ensure that our students make this world a better place, a safer place to be in 15 and 20 years, which is so topical in the context of the recent war in Ukraine or in the recent war in Israel. So we are now opening another 30th academic year, which is a cause for jubilation. 30 years ago, we started with 300 students in year one. Today, we are starting with 12,000 students from Poland and elsewhere, and we have hundreds of faculty and collaborating experts. This year, we onboarded another group of 2,500 PhD students and postgraduate students in the same number who have decided to study in Central Europe's best business school. According to Financial Times, we have been committed to Andrzej Kozminski's motto and creed that we should become the university of choice and a university #1 in terms of business education in Central Europe. And we have been the best non-public university for 25 years. We have the best courses in Poland in management, and our MBA and master's degrees are in the leading pack in Europe. We have also been a cradle of management and staff for 50 corporations. We have become a high-profile and broad curriculum university in the international arena. We train more than 1,000 students from 80 countries, and we are the first choice university, and our graduates come to us for postgraduate, and they send their children for bachelor courses. We are being recommended because we are trusted, and we enjoy excellent reputation, which means that we have a big responsibility on our shoulder. Modern tools help us manage resources, but not to add value, but to create new value for new times, to satisfy stakeholders, especially employees and clients, and to solve the problems of humanity in the responsibility, within the sense of the responsibility for the fate of this planet and the well-being of global society. And having said that, we're becoming greener, and we have received positive rating for the positive impact rating as the first university in Poland. We have calculated our footprint, and we are open-minded to community initiatives in education and social programs. And we are members of elite group of companies and institutions that are involved in new trends, and we are definitely embracing AI and ChatGPT-like initiatives. We are honored to be part of the process of creating the Polish academic and economic and business community. We are becoming a strong research organization with individuals being part of international projects that look at pivotal phenomena. We are a cradle for young and able people. We work with high schools where we share knowledge and we invite into programs, and we guide young people. We are supported by the Warsaw Ombudsman of the student rights. We are also involved in the local projects such as the Third Age University in the district of Praga. We follow the best universities in the world, and in May this year we have established Leon Kozminski Development Foundation, which is tasked with building the first ever endowment fund in Poland. For the time being, we have not yet reached the sort of levels that Harvard enjoys, $50 billion or $40 billion worth of the endowment capital at Stanford. But the first months of our process prove that there are more organizations and more individuals who believe that here in Poland, we can develop a world-class research and education center to be partners to the biggest universities. Panatoni, Millennium Bank, Ernst & Young, and Ergo Hestia are the initial founders, and they have become the strategic partners, and Ceres Consulnet is our supporting partner. Our partner group includes Profit Development, Asfri Agro, and Artemex, with whom we have created the first targeted scholarship fund. These organizations have believed in our vision, and we have also hundreds of individual donors. The foundation is a steward of this pioneering initiative to fund projects supporting young students, researchers, and faculty. Prestigious university courses must not only be available to those who are affluent, we have to tap into broader social strata. We have to provide opportunities to everyone. While we launch the Endowment Capital program, we are inviting you to take your part in building a world-class management university. But I will sadden you, not for us, but probably for our children and grandchildren, building billions of dollars worth of endowment funds took years. ALK has incessantly followed the same ambitions, which is likely to last another 30 years and beyond. We have, in the new volatile world, become a new school for the new world, and I'm sure that this motto will stay with us as a universal guide for an excellent university in Central Europe, and we will be guided by the solid principles that had been shaped by our predecessors. We are going to observe the strictest education and research standards, independence of thinking and reasoning. We will be ethically, socially, and environmentally active. Dear students, from this day on, your dreams are our dreams, but our dreams will also be your dreams too. I wish you great studying and the joint steering of this frigate. May this be propitious, lucky, and successful. What else do we have here? Now, I would like to give the floor to the president of Leon Kozminski Academy, your university, Professor Bielecki. I'll be very brief, and I've been asked to be very brief. Let me share a comment first. The number of guests, and we are so grateful to have you here, ladies and gentlemen. The list of guests is so long, and this is, at the end of the day, a festival for students. There are not enough seats for students. But your conscience should be clear, because we have big screens all over the university, and this ceremony can be watched in a number of locations. In conclusion, just to emphasize how short my speech is going to be, the Perspektywy journal mentioned by the rector in its recent issue made a list of the most important quotes from lectures from Polish universities. All the quotes are quite wise, and of course, inauguration speeches are always very wise, but let me quote one sentence or one fragment, which is perfectly fitting. You have chosen a place where you can fulfill yourselves and exchange ideas with, in the sense of respect for each other. Aloysius Nowak's speech from the University of Warsaw. Marek, do you remember you said this? And do you confirm you said this? And we have heard this in our speech, but this was just a short sentence. I participated in the first-year students' camp at Jubilee with 150 attendees, and I was uplifted looking at the young people in terms of how they approached the classes, because they were not only involved in sports but in other topics. And nobody played truant, nobody dropped out. People were engaged, involved from dawn to dusk. And I thank everyone who had been behind this. Jabinki is a location near Poland's eastern border. Last but not least, I would like to tell you that being a student is noblesse oblige. It's an obligation. And being a student at Kozminski is a huge responsibility as well. So this is just a reminder. And last but really not least, I wish you could say, as someone said several years ago, that studying at Kozminski was the best thing that happened to me. I wish you can say this after you graduate. Thank you.
Bardzo dziękujemy.
Professor, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will hear the letter from the President of Poland addressed to participants of the Jubilee inauguration of 2023-2024 academic year at the Kozminski University. The letter will be read by the head of the Chancellery of the President of the Republic of Poland, Ms. Grażyna Ignaczak-Bandych. Minister, over to you.
Wielce szanowny panie profesorze, honorowy prezydencie.
Professor, honorary president,
Panie profesorze, prezydencie.
Professor, President of the University, Magnificences, Excellencies, distinguished guests. The President of the Republic of Poland addressed a letter for this occasion that I have the honor to read. Dear Rector, Magnificence, distinguished Senate, professors, dear students, let me welcome the authorities, the staff, the faculty, employees, and students of the Kozminski University in Warsaw. Beginning the new academic year 2023-2024, your university enters the fourth decade of your activity. In March this year, 30 years have passed from the moment when the university was established, and the previous academic year was the 30th year of your work. On this double occasion, both the inauguration and the Jubilee, let me wish your entire community the best wishes and congratulations. Please accept the words of appreciation for all your achievements that help develop your academy. Congratulations of the many awards and the leading position of the university among Polish economic universities. Congratulations on the fantastic reputation that your university enjoys in international circles, being the leader of the business schools in our region of Europe. But first and foremost, I congratulate you on having the prestige in the eyes of your students and graduates whose great opinion and satisfaction with the education they received here is the most precious award. As the President of the Republic of Poland, I also want to thank you for this dimension of your work that is one of the most important from the perspective of the state and national economy. Thanks to the engagement and commitment of your faculty and staff and your students, your university is a place where fantastic managing staff is forged. Thanks to your work, Free Poland has become the leader of change from centrally managed economy to free market economy. When leaving this university, students very well prepared to run business, they add dynamism and innovation to the economic life of our country and contribute to the growing prosperity of our society. And for this great contribution to our common good, I wanted to thank you, especially today. One congratulating on your successes and achievements so far. I wish you more good years and joy of both transferring and gaining knowledge and skills. I wish that you develop well and enjoy great discoveries, both scientific and didactic. I wish you a lot of satisfaction from your personal development and your achievements, academic achievements. President of the Republic of Poland, Andrzej Duda.
Pani minister, bardzo dziękujemy.
Minister,
Prosimy
thank you
o
very
pozostanie na
much. Could you
scenie.
please
Szanowni państwo,
stay
teraz
on this
nastąpi
stage? And
uroczystość
now
wręczenia odznaczeń
we will
państwowych. Proszę dyrektora Biura Odznaczeń i Nominacji w Kancelarii
awards.
Prezydenta
Let me
RP, pana
invite
Dawida
Mr.
Drabika,
David
o
Drabik, the
poprowadzenie tej
director of
ceremonii.
the Nominations Department and the President Chancellery to conduct this ceremony.
Wasze magnificencje, dostojni goście, szanowni państwo,
ladies and gentlemen.
mam zaszczyt poinformować, że prezydent Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, pan Andrzej Duda, nadał odznaczenia państwowe zasłużonym pracownikom i wykładowcom Akademii Leona Kozminskiego.
Employees and lecturers of the Kozminski University on behalf of the President of the Republic of Poland. The medals will be awarded by the head of President's Chancellery, Minister Grażyna Ignaczak-Bandek, accompanied by His Magnificence Rector of Kozminski University, Professor Grzegorz Mazurek.
Uprzejmie proszę wszystkich
I
państwa
would now
o
like
powstanie.
to ask all of you to rise.
Zapraszam osoby
And let me
dekorowane.
invite the awardees.
Szanowni Państwo,
Ladies
na
and
podstawie
gentlemen,
artykułu
on the basis of
138
Article 138
Konstytucji
of the
Rzeczypospolitej
Constitution of the
Polskiej
Republic of
oraz
Poland and
ustawy
the
o
Act
orderach
on
i
Orders
odznaczeniach,
and of merit
postanowieniem
by the
prezydenta
decision of the
Rzeczypospolitej
President
Polskiej,
of the Republic
pana
of
Andrzeja
Poland,
Dudy,
Andrzej Duda,
za
for
wzorowe,
exemplary
wyjątkowo sumienne wykonywanie
discharging of
obowiązków
the
wynikających
obligations
z pracy
resulting from their
zawodowej,
professional
odznaczeni zostali
work. The following people have been
medalem
awarded
srebrnym
with
za
the silver
długoletnią
medal for
służbę
long
pani
service.
Mariola
Ms. Mariola Ciszewska-Mlinaricz.
pani
Ms.
Renata Dylong.
Renata Dylong.
Pani Swietłana
Ms.
Gutkowa.
Swietłana Gutkowa.
Pan Jacek Tomkiewicz.
Jest Jacek Tomkiewicz.
Medalem brązowym za
Bronze
długoletnią
medal
służbę
for
pani
long
Anna
service,
Pikos.
Ms. Anna Pikos.
Pani Edyta
Ms.
Siuda.
Edyta Siuda.
Szanowni Państwo, na tym
Ladies and
kończymy
gentlemen,
ceremonię
and this is
wręczenia
the end
odznaczeń
of the
państwowych.
award
Dziękuję Pani
ceremony.
Minister,
Thank you,
dziękuję Panie
Minister.
Rektorze.
Thank you,
Uprzejmie proszę
Rector.
Państwa o zajęcie miejsc.
And please take your seats.
Dziękuję bardzo. Szanowni
Thank you
Państwo,
very
bardzo
much.
proszę
Ladies
o
and
zabranie
gentlemen,
głosu panią
now I'd like
Renatę
to
Kaznowską,
ask Ms.
zastępczyni
Renata
prezydenta miasta
Kaznowska,
Warszawy.
Deputy Mayor of the capital city of Warsaw, to take the floor.
Jego magnificencje rektorzy,
Their
szanowne grono
magnificences,
akademicy, znakomici goście, przede wszystkim
rectors,
studenci i studentki.
distinguished guests,
W dniu
dear
inauguracji
students,
roku
on the day of
akademickiego
inauguration of the academic year 2023-2024
i znakomitego
and the
jubileuszu składam życzenia
great
wszystkim
Jubilee,
członkom i
I'd
członkiniom
like to send
społeczności
great
Akademii
wishes to
Leona
all the members of the
Kozmińskiego.
community of the
To
Kozminski
wyjątkowy czas,
University.
kiedy otwierają
This is
się
a
nowe
unique time
możliwości i z
when
nowymi siłami
new
wracamy do
possibilities open
zdobywania
and
kolejnych
we
doświadczeń.
we
Dziękuję
start to
za
get new
Państwa
experience with
zaangażowanie na
new
rzecz
strength.
Warszawy.
Thank you for
Liczne
your
projekty na
involvement
rzecz
and commitment
naszego
to
miasta
Warsaw. Numerous
w dziedzinach takich
projects
jak
for
migracje,
our city
analiza
in
rynku
areas such
pracy,
as
rozwój biznesu
migration, labor
czy
market
polityka
analysis, business
klimatyczna
development or climate
pozwalają
policy, because they
rozwijać cenną
all allow
współpracę.
us to
Gratuluję
develop
Nagrody Miasta
our
Stołecznego
cooperation.
Warszawy przyznanej
Congratulations
przez Radę
on
Miasta,
the
która
receipt of
jest
the award
potwierdzeniem
of the capital city
dobrego
of Warsaw,
współdziałania dla
awarded by the
rozwoju
Council of
społeczeństwa
Warsaw, which just
obywatelskiego w
confirms
Warszawie
your
i
commitment to the
zaangażowania
development
w
of
inicjatywie
the civil
Partner
society
dla
in Warsaw and
Klimatu,
your
wspierającej
engagement
dążenie
in the
stolicy do
initiative Partner for
neutralności
Climate,
klimatycznej.
supporting our strive
Liczę
for
na
climate
dalszą wymianę myśli
neutrality.
i wiedzy
I
na
hope
rzecz
for further
rozwoju
exchange of
stolicy i
thoughts and
akademii,
knowledge for the
między
development
innymi
of
przy
both
projektach
our
takich
capital
jak
and the
badanie
Akademia.
potencjału
For
Warszawy w
instance, at
zakresie
projects such as
przyciągania
exploring
studentów
the
zagranicznych i
potential of Warsaw in
pracowników
attracting foreign
migracyjnych.
students and
Wspólne
migration
działania
workers,
pozwalają skutecznie
because
realizować
joint
cele
activities allow us to
Warszawy, cele
effectively
strategii Warszawa
meet the
2030.
targets of the strategy
Gratuluję
Warsaw
znakomitych wyników w
2030.
rankingach
Congratulations
międzynarodowych,
on your
między
great
innymi
place in
pierwszego miejsca w
international
Europie
rankings,
Środkowo-Wschodniej
among
w
others, the
European Business
first place
Schools
in Central
oraz
and
bycia
Eastern
w najlepszej
Europe
trójce
among European business
2023
schools and
uczelni
being
środkowo
one of the
Europy
best
Środkowo-Wschodniej
business
Financial Times Masters. Świadczy
schools
to o
rankings of Financial
najwyższym poziomie
Times Master
nauczania.
in Central and Eastern
Obecnie
Europe. That shows how
dynamicznych
great your
zmian
level of
społecznych i
education is today
technologicznych.
in the
Ważne
times
jest,
of
by
dynamic
uczelnie
social and
spełniały swoją
technological
rolę
change. It's
jako
very important
centra
that universities play the role
wiedzy,
at the centers where both
ośrodków
knowledge is
przekazywania
generated,
umiejętności
but also
niezbędnych w zmieniającym
skills
się świecie.
are transferred
uczelnią z
necessary
pewnością
in the
jest
changing
Akademia
world.
Leona
Kozminski University is
Życzę
such
wszystkim
a place,
studentom,
such a university, and I wish all the
pracownikom
students,
naukowym oraz
all
wszystkim
the
osobom,
academics, and all people related to the academy very good, fruitful cooperation, realization of your both personal and professional plans. And I congratulate all of you, and especially the first-year students, that you are part of this university. I wish you the best success in the new academic year. With expression of respect, Rafał Trzaskowski, the mayor of the capital city of Warsaw. And I myself join in all those congratulations and best wishes. And I'd like to thank you again for fantastic cooperation that we keep developing in the new projects. Thank you.
Szanowni Państwo, z okazji nowego roku akademickiego.
On the occasion of the new academic year, we have received best wishes from government institutions, other universities, and institutions cooperating with us, among them from the Marshal of the Mazovian Voivodeship, Adam Struzik, the Minister of Education and Science, Przemysław Czarnek, the President of the Polish Accreditation Committee, Reverend Dr. Tadeusz Stanisławski, the President of CRASP, and the President of the National Council of Legal Advisors, Włodzimierz Hruszczek. We sincerely thank you for them. And now, please all rise. Thank you.
Bardzo proszę pana prorektora do spraw dydaktycznych, pana profesora Aleksandra Maziarza o przyjęcie ślubowania studentów i studentek pierwszego roku.
Proszę o wystąpienie następujących przedstawicieli i przedstawicielek pierwszego roku. Panią Aleksandrę Bulirę, studentkę prawa, stypendystkę ALK, która w postępowaniu rekrutacyjnym uzyskała najwyższą maksymalną liczbę punktów. Panią Maję Budziak, studentkę prawa w zarządzaniu biznesem, laureatkę olimpiady. Panią Mirellę Derewecką, studentkę prawa, finalistkę olimpiady. Panią Laurę Annę Twardzik, studentkę Bachelor in Management and Artificial Intelligence, finalistkę programu Zwolnieni z teorii. Pana Antoana Filipa Crochet, studenta Master in Finance and Accounting, który uzyskał stypendium dla najlepszych kandydatów. Stypendium dla najlepszych kandydatów otrzymali również pan Michał Kantorski, student zarządzania, pan Hubert Sochoń, student zarządzania psychologii biznesu, pan Adam Wróbel, student finansów i rachunkowości. Zapraszam także panią Martynę Łuszczek, studentkę ekonomii, laureatkę Top 25 Under 25 Forbes, pana Chrisa Ajke-Czadeł, studenta Bachelor in Management, przedsiębiorcę, który od 16 roku życia prowadzi firmę zajmującą się tworzeniem stron internetowych i komunikacją marki. Zapraszam również panią Aleksandrę Foryś, studentkę finansów i rachunkowości. Wszystkich studentów i studentki proszę o powtarzanie słów ślubowania.
Please raise your right hand and repeat.
Ślubuję uroczyście,
że będę wytrwale dążyć do zdobywania wiedzy
i rozwoju własnej osobowości,
odnosić się z szacunkiem do władz uczelni
i wszystkich członków jej społeczności,
szanować mienie uczelni,
prawa i obyczaje akademickie
oraz całym swym postępowaniem
dbać o honor i godność studenta Akademii Leona Kozmińskiego.
Od tej chwili jesteście studentami i studentkami Akademii Leona Kozmińskiego. Now the students of English studies will pledge. Please repeat after me.
I solemnly pledge
to consistently strive
toward academic knowledge and personal development,
to respect the authorities and staff of the university,
its property,
academic rules, rights and traditions,
and not to compromise
the reputation of the students' body
of Kozminski University.
From this moment, you are officially students of Kozminski University.
Drodzy Państwo, to jest czas na brawa. Profesor Maziarz za chwilę wręczy dyplomy gratulacyjne naszym studentom i studentkom.
Congratulations diplomas to our students. Just a moment.
Drodzy Państwo, możecie zająć miejsca.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats now.
Proszę o zabranie głosu przewodniczącego samorządu studentów naszej uczelni, pana Stefana Ćwiklińskiego.
Mr. Stefan Ćwikliński.
Wielkie brawa.
For Mr. Ćwikliński.
Magnificencjo, rektorze,
Your
szanowni profesorowie,
magnificence, rector, professors,
licznie zebrane tutaj
faculty
grono braci
and
studenckich,
employees, brothers
zaproszeni
and sisters, students and
Witam
dear
wszystkich
guests.
dzisiaj w dniu
I would like to
uroczystej
welcome you here
roku
on this
akademickiego
festive day as we inaugurate the new academic year of 2023. We are honored to meet at the University, Kozminski University, to celebrate this moment together.
Jest mi niezmiernie miło,
I am absolutely pleased, delighted, proud and touched that I can stand in front of you as head of the student government in this special year as our university celebrates its 30 years of existence. It's a great and opportune moment to reflect. 30 years ago, when our university was just starting out, nobody thought how much the future will hold for all of us. Today, we are among the leaders of best universities in this country and elsewhere. We're being respected not only for the quality of teaching, but for the quality of our community and community initiatives. Credit goes to us, our appetite for learning, our passion and yearning for excellence. Dear students, we are also welcoming new
kiedy
young
rozpoczynacie
people
swoją
among
przygodę z
ourselves,
akademickim życiem.
and it's a new adventure
Wiem, że
for
przybyliście
you
tutaj
as you
pełni
enter
nadziei
this
i
academic
zapału do
community.
zdobywania
You have
wiedzy.
come here with
A my,
zeal and
starsi
hunger for
studenci
knowledge.
oraz
Us,
pracownicy
students who have been around for longer, we are here ready to support you
Pamiętajcie, że nasza uczelnia
throughout your
to nie
education process.
miejsce,
Remember that our university is not only a place to gain skills and knowledge, but also a space for personal growth. This is where you meet new people, new friends. You learn to become independent citizens. You learn to become team player. This adds up to an unparalleled experience that you will carry in your hearts throughout your lives. You can be exposed to new knowledge, but also to practice hands-on. So please join the study circles and study groups that we have 30 of as the number of years. Please be active in the life of our community. Student council is certainly one of the areas you should be involved, because this is your voice, this is your perspective, so be part and parcel of projects and initiatives. It is up to you to decide how this university lives its life throughout the year and beyond. And I would like to thank everyone for creating this university, for making this university what it is today. And I wish the entire community great success in the following year. We can do grand things together. I enjoy this moment. Let us enjoy this moment, all of us. Let's go bravely into the new academic year. Thank you very much.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you
Szanowni
very
Państwo,
much.
bardzo
Ladies
proszę o
and
powstanie.
gentlemen, please rise again. The academic year of 2023 open.
Vigitur, Jovenes Dom Sumus, Gaudamus Vigitur, Jovenes Dom Sumus, post jucundam Juventudem, post molestam selectutem, nostra benitumus, nostra benitumus, vivat Akademia, vivat professores, vivat Akademia, vivat professores, vivat membrum quodlibet, vivat membra felibet, semper sit in flore, semper sit in flore.
Bardzo proszę o zajęcie miejsca.
Please be seated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will now hand in the Commission of National Education medals to ALK staff. The medal of the Commission of National Education is a decoration awarded for special merits in teaching and educational activities. I would like to ask His Magnificence, the Rector, Professor Grzegorz Mazurek, to present the medals. This year, the medals of the Commission of National Education are awarded to Professor Dominika Latusek-Jurczak. The medal also goes to Professor Aleksander Maziarz. Let me invite Mrs. Anna Miziołek. Thank you very much. I know it's a stressful moment, so let me ask you for a round of applause. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, but I would like to have another round of
Wieloletnim pracownikiem Akademii Leona Kozminskiego, dyrektorem marketingu. W tym roku
she's head of marketing. She's retiring this year, which is saddening. This is her decision, however. Thank you so much for all the years of your hard work for our university. Is Director Andrzejewska with us as well? Oh, there she is. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will use this opportunity. There are so many of us here that I have forgotten to welcome Madam Director and recognize her, and I'm doing this right now. Apologies for this faux pas, and apologies to all of you who have not been listed and mentioned out loud. I take all the blame. All the mishaps are my fault, Director. But before we do give the floor to Madam Director, I would like to ask Maria Andrzejewska, Director General of UNEP Grid, and Grzegorz Mazurek, Director of this university, will accept the SDG Award.
Panie rektorze, ja bardzo serdecznie jestem. Dla mnie wyróżnieniem jest to, że mogę być w tak znakomitym gronie, uczestniczyć w tej wyjątkowej uroczystości. Panie prezydencie honorowy, panie prezydencie, jego magnificencjo, rektorze, szanowni państwo, dla nas jest to szczególny dzień. Przyznam, że słowa, które pan rektor w swoim wystąpieniu otwierającym przekazał o tej odpowiedzialności za los
about the responsibility for the fate of the humanity and the planet. They fit very well with this part of our ceremony. I'm really happy and honored that during the Jubilee ceremony of the university I can hand the certificate of partnership, SDG partnership, for the implementation of the environmental sustainable development goals. It's very important for me because it's not the beginning of our way together. It's crowning of a certain phase of cooperation that we've been continuing for a few years now, and we've managed to achieve quite a lot together. We work together as part of the climate-ship program that we've created together with Professor Rock, but also the academic staff of the university and the alumni of the university are very much involved in this. The program EcoCraft, which we have again created together with Professor Aleksandra Przegalińska. We've managed to involve students in creating application of digital technology in environmental education and, to be precise, developing plugins to Minecraft. And the participation of Kozminski University participation in our workshops organized by UNEP here in Warsaw, in Poland, where we will be talking and planning foresight scenarios for the entire Europe. I think that ahead of us, we still have a lot of years of cooperation, and I do hope this will be research cooperation, but also educational projects cooperation in
a także aktywne
knowledge
włączenie
sharing,
społeczności
education,
akademickiej oraz
ESG
partnerów
reporting,
Akademii Leona Kozminskiego w realizację
and
projektów
participation
związanych
of
ze
the
środowiskiem.
university in environmental projects. Future is in our hands, and thanks to the cooperation, our force is multiplied, our strength is multiplied. So thank you very much, Rector, and let me hand over to you the symbolic certificate of participation in our partnership. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, courage. Courage is something that is at the forefront of whatever we do for the last 30 years. Together with our parents, we develop business education at the top global level, and thanks to that, we can influence the business of the future. Our university, as the first in the academic community, established endowment fund that will allow us to fulfill and pursue our strategic goals and be part of the best universities in the world. I'd like to thank our strategic partners, Panatoni. Panatoni is the first company that decided to join our endowment fund, and that is why now I'd like you to give them the round of applause. We'd also like to thank Millennium Bank, Ergo Hestria, and EY, our supporting partners, that is Consalnet, and Profit Development. Let me invite Rector Professor Grzegorz Mazurak and Dr. Sylwia Hałas-Day, the president of the ALK Development Foundation, to award the honorary
Zapraszam pana Żobra-Żor, prezesa zarządu, przewodniczącego Rady Nadzorczej Banku Millennium. Zapraszam panią Dagmarę Osendę, zastępczynię dyrektora HR Ergo Hestia. Zapraszam również panią Dorotę Kubiak, dyrektor zespołu Talent, HR, Employer Branding EY. Drodzy państwo, brawa.
João. Muito obrigado. Dzięki. Pani dyrektor. Wspaniała sprawa. Dzięki, że z nami jesteście.
Pana prezesa Roberta Dobrzyckiego poproszę o pozostanie na scenie i wygłoszenie krótkiego przemówienia, natomiast pozostałych partnerów zapraszam na swoje miejsca. Będę prosić państwa w dalszej kolejności.
Other partners, please take your seats and I will invite you to the stage in a moment.
Dzień dobry Państwu. Jest mi bardzo miło.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for me to be here with you. I won't take a lot of your time. I'm not the most important person here, but let me briefly say, Panatoni is a company, is a Polish-American company operating in Europe. It was founded in Warsaw in 2005, and from this place, from Warsaw, we've developed to operate in 15 European countries and in India, and we are a leader in our sector of commercial property. I'm also a graduate of the Warsaw University, where Professor Kozminski was our teacher. Polish Akademia and business school are the best business schools in this part of Europe, and I'm really glad that we can work together with the university, and I hope this cooperation will continue. Thank you.
Bardzo dziękujemy.
Thank you
Poproszę
very
o zabranie
much.
głosu
And now
pana prezesa Żobra Georges, Bank Millennium. Zapraszam.
President of Millennium Bank, Georges.
Na zachętę brawa oczywiście, przydadzą się.
Round of applause, yes.
Thank you very much. Although I live and work in Poland for 17 years, I always prefer to speak in English. And because also living in Poland for 17 years, I've been witness and participating in development of the society and economy in Poland. And it's amazing because at the same time that, for example, in the last 10 years, GDP per capita grew 40%, the average salary grew 60%, and the minimum salary grew 140%. This is only possible because there was a major change of the economic model from the labor cost, low labor cost, to economy of know-how and economy of specialized professionals. This was only possible by the roles of the universities. Particularly on Kozminski, the university have been an extraordinary role because this bias for the international ambitions and the international view. It's remarkable that since the beginning, the university looked for having the state-of-the-art in terms of know-how in international level, looked for the international accreditation and certification, and always look for the rankings in international levels to look for how to do more. So it's a privilege for the bank to be here in Kozminski University, and thank you very much for this cooperation.
Bardzo dziękujemy. Poproszę o zabranie głosu panią Dagmarę Sendę.
Let me ask Dagmara Senda from Ergo Hestia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I represent the Sopot insurance company, and I'm glad to be here today. We've started business cooperation with the university when developing our managers, our talents 3 years ago, and we were able to see what it means to have good quality in education in the development of adults who are not easy to teach. And this cooperation is really a crowning of those 3 years' work, and I'm glad to be part of it. We are very happy that we can be one of the first partners of the university, one of the leaders of the insurance market. We try to be the first in something, and then again, thanks to Kozminski University, we have the opportunity to be first again. So we keep our fingers crossed for your development and success, and congratulate you on your jubilee. Dorota Kubiak from EY. Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, it's a great pleasure for me to be present here in the life of the university. And this year we will be supporting 2 majors, the accounting and finance and tax advisory. We are also present at postgraduate studies, sustainable finance, and ASG. So substantive content, that's what's most important for us. We will contribute, we will engage you in various competitions and interesting initiatives in order to add as much energy as possible and positive thinking to the university. So thank you for having this opportunity to represent EY here at this ceremony, and congratulations. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now take your seats. And now let me invite the president of Kozminski University, Professor Witold Bielecki. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to explain to all of you that president means the president of the Board of Trustees. Traditionally, during an inauguration, we award the so-called Kozminski Lions. We started with eagles, Kozminski's eagles, but one of the members of our jury, Professor Obój, as a specialist in strategic management, draw your attention to the fact that there are a lot of Eagle Awards in Poland, and that's no longer distinguishing in any way. So that's why we decided to change it to Kozminski Lions, which is related to our patron, Leon Kozminski. So every year we award those awards, the chapter of the award, 15 distinguished academics and economic specialists grant award those lions. This year, because of the 30th anniversary, we decided to award more Lion Awards. There are 9 altogether in a number of categories. And now we would like to present those awards. Now I can see that all the awardees are now sitting in the same bench, so yes, I would
Dobrze, w kategorii administracja publiczna wyróżnieni zostali dwaj nasi absolwenci. Pan Mariusz Frankowski, dyrektor programów unijnych,
Director of the Mazovian Unit of
a także
Implementation
profesor doktor
of EU
habilitowany nauk medycznych Grzegorz Gielerak, dyrektor Wojskowego
of
Instytutu
Medical
Medycznego
Sciences Grzegorz Gielelak, Director of the
MBA dla kadry medycznej w Akademii Leona
graduate of
Kozminskiego.
MBA for
Zapraszam, wielkie
Medical
brawa.
Staff at Kozminski University.
Mazowiecka jednostka wdrażania programów unijnych działa w imieniu Zarządu Województwa. Instytucja pośrednicząca zarządzana przez pana Mateusza Frankowskiego rozdysponowała dotychczas ponad 16 miliardów złotych dofinansowania z Unii Europejskiej.
Managed by Mr. Frankowski, distributed so far more than 16 billion zloty of EU funding. Military Medical Institute, State Research Institute, is a hospital in Praga Południe in Warsaw. It's the central clinical, didactic, consulting and scientific research and development unit for the military
I doradztwo dla wiodących stowarzyszeń oraz instytucji medycznych, ochrony zdrowia i kardiologii.
Support and advisor services for leading associations and medical institutions in healthcare and cardiology.
Wielkie brawa. Przechodzimy do kolejnej kategorii, kategoria przedsiębiorca, w której
category entrepreneur. And the award goes to Mr. Sławomir Kubyczek, CEO of Friza, graduate of Executive MBA at Kozminski University.
Frizo to firma znajdująca się w czołówce polskich firm ze projektów z zakresu chłodnictwa przemysłowego, izolacji termicznych, instalacji grzewczych oraz wentylacji i klimatyzacji. Pan Sławomir Kubyczek zbudował firmę Frizo od zera i poprowadził ją do osiągnięcia 100 milionów przychodów w 5 lat. Raz jeszcze wielkie brawa.
100 million zloty of income over the last 5 years.
Również w kategorii przedsiębiorca została wyróżniona pani Anna Szulżyk-Maciąg, dyrektor generalna Polskone, absolwentka Kozmiński MBA Finanse w naszej Akademii. To jest czas na brawa.
Kozmiński MBA in Finance at our university.
Polskone to firma założona w 1990 roku i jedna z największych oraz najdynamiczniej rozwijających się
companies in construction joinery. It's possible, first of all, thanks to consistency in implementing the adopted strategy. Right now, the company employs more than 800 people and has 4 fully computerized manufacturing plants.
W kategorii
In the manager category, we have as many as 4 persons. Mr. Olgierd Cieślik, chairman of the board of Totalizator Sportowy, MBA graduate for financiers at Leon Kozminski Academy. Mr. President, unfortunately, cannot be here with us, so the statuette will be received on his behalf by Mrs. Ada Bella, director of the corporate communication department at Totalizator Sportowy. So let's have a big round of applause. Totalizator Sportowy is one of Poland's largest and most recognizable companies. This lottery has been operating continuously for almost 70 years. It's a technology company that develops and seeks innovative solutions and one of the pillars of financing of Polish sports and culture. The company, managed by Mr. Olgierd Cieślik, has successfully entered the e-commerce market, and its digitization was the largest transformation of a company ever, and the success of the changes introduced was reflected in the company's results, which are record-breaking every year. Mr. Tomasz Rogacz, CEO of McDonald's Poland, executive MBA graduate of ALK. So let's have a big round of applause. McDonald's Poland started over 30 years ago. It opened its first restaurant in Warsaw. At present, it has over 500 seats and employs about 30,000 people. Mr. Tomasz Rogacz has been with the company for 22 years. He has enjoyed professional success not only in Poland, but also in the markets of Serbia, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Under his leadership, the restaurants of this chain achieved record sales and went through a modernization process. So let's have another round of applause. And let me invite another person, Mrs. Agnieszka Świeść, President of the Management Board of DHL Parcel Poland, graduate of postgraduate studies in professional coaching. So let's welcome Agnieszka. DHL Parcel is part of the DHL Group, the largest logistics organizations in the world. It's a leading company on the Polish domestic parcel market, but also a global logistics partner and a precursor of innovative e-commerce solutions. Mrs. Agnieszka Świeść has been with the company for over 20 years, while occupying successive positions. She created and implemented innovative projects. Her focus has always been on new technology and working with people. Now let's have another winner, Mr. Tadeusz Waszczyński, General Manager for CE and Country Manager for Poland, Austria, Czechia, Slovakia, and Baltics at Hitachi Europe, our Executive MBA graduate. Hitachi Europe is a leading provider of IT solutions to the Polish banking sector. Hitachi's activities include providing regulatory solutions, IT infrastructure, and cybersecurity services. Mr. Waszczyński's huge professional success is having solved the problem of persistent storage in Poland. Together with his team, he developed a concept that responds to the challenge of immutability and indelibility of published documents. In the lawyer category, a statuette will be received by Mr. Jakub Kubacki, Director of Legal and Compliance Department, member of the Board of Directors of XTB SA, based in Poland, and licensed director, member of the Board Directors of XTB MENA, based in the United Arab Emirates, graduate of legal studies at the Leon Kozminski Academy. XTB is an international provider of products, services, and technology solutions for trading in financial instruments. The group was founded in 2004 in Poland and has been growing rapidly ever since. It has gained recognition for its innovation and quality. Mr. Jakub Kubacki took part in a project that involved development of a legally innovative share offering project, which is a new solution both in Poland and beyond and the whole of Europe. I would like to tell you that these are really hard paper weights, so we are not simulating. I'm in awe of the physical strength of those who handle this. The actual weight of the alliance reflects the weight, the symbolic weight of the nominees. I would like to say that Iga, who is presenting at our ceremony, while she is on the first name terms with many, it has not influenced the choice. Chair, thank you for extra clarification. 3 rectors of our academy, supported by a professional tenor singer, have performed O Sole Mio. And now the same song will be sung by our choir, hopefully with equal skill.
Szanowni Państwo,
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our inauguration speech. Andrzej Kozminski, a former rector of our university, will now give us a lecture on the Agile Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of my lecture requires some further clarification. In the Polish language and the culture of Poland, the word revolution tends to have negative connotations. It is associated with bloody terror, as in Russia or Jacobite France. This is why, perhaps, back in 1980, workers on strike at the Gdansk shipyard threw out those Western leftists who had come from other countries to support the revolution. A completely different understanding of the concept of revolution was held by one of the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, who believed that, and here I quote, that every generation needs a new revolution, end of quote. What he meant was a radical change in the ways people live and work, giving society new strength and a new drive. This is how I will also understand the word revolution in my argument today. Agility, as the Polish translation, we use the translation of the Polish agility, of the word agility, sorry, which appears more and more frequently in studies on modern management. The term carries a wide stream of meanings, including flexibility, cleverness, alertness, readiness to act, speed and fluidity of reaction, and even playfulness. Agility is synonymous with unconventional action, out-of-the-box thinking, allowing value creation in previously unpredictable situations. Agile individuals are usually hyperactive nonconformists operating outside of formalized structures. The economic policies of the past have favored the proliferation of formalized, state-controlled structures. On the basis of the Keynesian economic doctrine, top-down, deficit-financed state spending was able to effectively stimulate the economy and counteract unemployment. And this is what happened in the West during the years of post-war reconstruction and the formation of the traditional welfare state model. State intervention in sectors considered strategic, for example, defense, energy, transport, health, education, led to the creation and proliferation of gigantic, bureaucratic, state-owned and state-controlled enterprises and structures. As the structures grew, became more complex, on the verge of absurdity, and let me be not humble, the Kozminski law became true. The law says that every organization acts as badly as it can possibly do so. And the possibilities are great, thanks to the state soft funding. The conformist reigned in this context. The result became inefficiency and parasitism.
A relatively stable Keynesian world with controlled business cycles fell into the trap of its own success. The achieved pattern of prosperity became the object of growing aspirations of more and more social groups around the world. And at the same time, the limits of states' ability to incur debt and interfere with nature became increasingly apparent. And the limited opportunities to achieve the model of prosperity made in Hollywood have become the cause of equally massive frustrations within societies that were economically diverse and between such societies. And these are now effectively exploited by populist politicians who, being unable to realize aspirations, to meet the aspirations, focus on creating impressions, emotions, feelings, and above all, illusions. Such a situation is characterized by radical uncertainty, or the general uncertainty. And this means that we are unable to predict changes that fundamentally, sometimes radically, alter the parameters of our functioning as human individuals, organizations, or states. That's how, for instance, the environmental catastrophe, pandemic, the war in Ukraine, or radical changes in the political preferences of some societies have worked recently. This is a self-perpetuating mechanism because it amplifies the propensity for hysterical, unpredictable behavior, both individual and collective, such as the Brexit or Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At the intellectual level, we still miss logical explanations for this jitteriness and political choices that for a reasonable person are insane. As before the Second World War, we could read in Ernst Jünger, we are moving in bygone eras or some distant utopias, vague utopias, while the present is passing us. In the absence of an understanding of the present, there is a growing uncertainty about tomorrow and a sense of insecurity. Uncertainty fosters emotions. Emotions determine political choices, sometimes with very great economic weight. Economics is regaining, unfortunately, when we look at petrol stations, the unloved adjective political. Recently, there are even more far-reaching terms used, such as emotional economy or impressionist economy, calculated to evoke this proverbial thrill of emotion among people. Paraphrasing the classical definition of economics as the science of rational management of limited resources, one can talk about emotional economics. It's like an abstract economy, loner economy, if you like, increasingly incapable of actually creating value, and it's becoming prevalent. Fortunately, the latest managerial revolution is already happening or beginning to happen, and its determinants are to be found in the practices that lead to the greatest success, mainly in the area of technology, both big tech and startups that are candidates for the category of unicorns with the value over 1 billion. Traditional post-Keynesian economic policy has burned out, exhausted its possibilities. In its place, a frequent guest of our university, Nobel Prize winner Edmund Phelps, proposes a bottom-up model of economic growth based on the thriving, flourishing of mass entrepreneurship, innovation, individual and collective initiative, the drive of free people to succeed. This requires a revolutionary change in the behavior of people in organizations. This is exactly the revolution of the agile. Traditional management is too rigid, stable, and slow, and it does not respond in real time to the challenges that the organizations face. It needs to be changed. This type of change are never voluntary, however, because they go against the interests and convenience, comfort of those currently in power and those who have the largest stakes, if you like, in the current reality. On the waves of technology, agility is gradually invalidating bureaucratic state capitalism, outgrowing and replacing its structures. Commonly used technologies do not ensure at a satisfactory level the supply of energy, fresh water. Sorry, that's an American habit. of mine. So fresh water, healthy food, and conservation of natural resources. Technology is developing rapidly, creating the largest field for careers and astronomical fortunes. But we still can't see any real chances for closing the technology gap that divides us from the real satisfaction of our needs, especially since the most profitable are those applications of technology that are used in entertainment and redundant human communications. And those who have achieved the greatest success are more interested in maintaining their own position than in further development of the technology. That is why we talk about revolution. Agility requires realism and common sense. There are at least 3 difficult lessons to learn. The first lesson of the revolution of the agile relates to the goals of the organization, not a single simple measurable goal, such as, for instance, the profit mass. Fortunately, this famous saying, once famous saying in the 90s, business of business is business, this fortunately has now gone down and is now history, because what we are looking for is the dynamic balance of multiple goals and interests of multiple partners. For instance, market share, access to technology, revenue, environmental protection, employees and customers' welfare. This requires understanding stakeholders and communicating with them again and again. The search for balance must be accompanied by a kind of ethical compass that counteracts against acting against the legitimate fair interests of partners. The agiles are not parasitic predators and thus have a better chance of survival. Honesty is the best policy. This is a pragmatic, not idealistic version of business ethics. The second lesson of the agile revolution, evolution of the agile, is an active search for new values. The traditional career path of an employee or entrepreneur has been to just plug into an already functioning value chain and try to maximize the associated benefits while avoiding possible risks. Today, it no longer works like that. Value chains have their owners and their, quote, aristocracy. For those the new ones who are trying to plug in, there are increasingly modest leftovers left. Under conditions of radical uncertainty, therefore, a more expansive strategy is needed. To buy more lottery tickets, in other words, looking for a number of different sources of income. Just speaking plainly, this means maximizing opportunities, and this in turn means creating our own value chains based on an original idea, innovation, initiative in areas such as green and digital transformation. Hyperactive ingenuity is the king. Passive and slow people will not do well in the world to come. You remember that, dear students. The third lesson of the revolution of the agile is to serve the waves of technology. The universality and ubiquity of applications of new technologies means that all innovations, improvements, new ideas involve the use of technology. They are both the source and the platform on which new value chains are realized. Technology is a way of life and a recipe for success for the agile. They can't afford to lose touch with them, like a surfer cannot afford to lose touch with a wave that can lift him or send him to the bottom. It is necessary to master this risky sport. The agile will be on the winning side of the system and at the same time will provide it with a new impetus for growth that has been missing in sluggish bureaucratic capitalism. Such should be the managers and entrepreneurs of the future, and such they already are. Although they will probably remain the most creative minority for a long time to come, a catalyst for great change. Our research on leadership in startups confirms this. This is distributed leadership, exercised occasionally as a mission for the common good and not tied to any feudal privileges. It's a working leadership. Such leadership is taken and not given. Formal, official leadership, which is rooted in offices and limousines, is becoming increasingly limited, almost completely blocked by warring interest groups. The people in limousines, they really can't do anything. The revolution of the agile exposes this compromising picture, generating spontaneously a leadership that is dispersed. For example, in Poland, organizing aid for millions of Ukrainian refugees. The pressure of the agile has a chance to gradually lead to healing of the state and social structures from bottom up. This revolution will certainly not be decreed from above. It must become the result of massive grassroots actions by the agile, who can simply cheat the system. And it must be done quickly, because before our eyes, the world is becoming more and more dangerous, unpredictable, less and less capable of meeting our needs. And here, let me address you, the students of the first year of Kozminski University. You will be the ones who will make this revolution, the first year students. We count on you. Thank you.
Panie profesorze, bardzo
Professor Kozminski, thank you very much. This inauguration is attended by Frederick Chopin University of Music Choir, and we would like to invite this magnificent ensemble to perform at the end of our celebration this morning.
W imieniu chóru, czyli tych wspaniałych artystów, naszego dyrygenta Jakuba Szafrańskiego oraz moim własnym, czyli inspektora, chcemy powiedzieć, że bardzo cieszymy się, że jesteśmy częścią Akademii Leona Kozminskiego. Cieszymy się, że możemy tutaj występować i mamy taką malutką pamiątkę z tej okazji. Jest to zdjęcie zrobione kilka lat temu z panem profesorem, rektorem Witoldem Bieleckim, z panem rektorem Mazurkiem. Jeszcze takiego nie mamy. Ale może najbliższe 30 lat pozwolą nam coś takiego zrobić. Chciałbym przekazać w ręce pana rektora.
Dzięki. Jesteście wspaniali. Dzięki.
jako drugi utwór wybraliśmy dla Państwa utwór z 93 roku, z ważnego momentu, który nas tutaj trochę połączył. Utwór jest to piosenka z filmu, który miał wówczas premierę, Trzej Muszkieterowie. Piosenka nawiązująca do trzech rektorów, również tak
This
symbolicznie.
song was written in 1993.
Akademii
It's
Leona
about
Kozminskiego.
three
All
musketeers,
for Love.
and it relates to three rectors. And the title of the song is All for Love.
When it's love you give,
Men of good faith,
then in love you live.
I make a stand, I won't break.
I'll be the rock you can be alone. Be there when you're old, to heaven to go. When there's love inside,
I swear I'll always be strong.
then there's a reason why.
I'll prove to you we belong.
I'll be the one that protects you from the wind and the rain, from the heart and the pain. Yeah, let's make it all for love. Let the one you hold be the one you want, the one you need. 'Cause when it's all for one, it's all for all.
When there's someone that should know, then just let your feelings show and make it
All for one, all for love.
Don't lay your love to rest. We could stand the test. We got everything and more than we had planned. More than the rivers that run the land. We've got it all
In your heart,
now it's
all for love. Let the one you hold be the one you want, the one you need. 'Cause when it's all for one, it's all for all.
When there's someone that should know, then just let your feelings show.
When there's someone that you want, when there's someone that you need, let's make it all. And all for love.
Szanowni Państwo, bardzo dziękuję.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the choir for the performance. Don't run away. We want to spend more time with you. And now the last effort to put our hands together. May I take this opportunity to thank all the faculty and staff who have spent the last 14 days putting this event together. So let's put it together for this wonderful people. I would like to thank you for attending. And this is really the end of our ceremony, but this is not the last of us. Please join us at 5 as we present an honorary doctorate to Professor Eric Renuel. And we're going to debate on the future of business, and this debate is going to be attended by former rectors and ministers from Europe. It'll be a brief but meaningful discussion about the future of business schools. Please join us at the bookstore where you can buy Professor Andrzej Kozminski's autobiography, and you can buy the latest publication, an excerpt of which you have on the table. And that is a compilation of predictions about our university. So you have a summary or an excerpt from this book, but you can buy the whole book. And thank you, Professor Ciszewski, for leading the effort. Yes, I need to invite you to refreshments. And I would like everyone to rise, please. I hereby close the inauguration ceremony for the 2023 academic year. Again, thank you all for being here. Students, you're more than welcome.
Na razie się spotykam jeszcze z Darczyńskim.